We are going to be discussing the relevance of Google Analytics 4. I think most of you in the audience would know that events is one aspect of Google Analytics which is really discussed a lot, because the way events is treated in GA4 is very different from how it was being treated in the earlier versions, right? So, a session start is actually an event. uh, a page view coming out of a session is actually an event, right? So this makes the reporting completely different. You're able to dice the data in a very different manner, in a more useful manner, because you are able to look at all possible kinds of events which can happen from a user, right? So it could be a start of a session, it could be the user coming and clicking on a YouTube, watching a YouTube video, or it could be someone downloading a file, it could be someone scrolling to the bottom of the page. So it all become all these things are very easily tracked in Google Analytics. So there are various kinds of events, right? So there is automatic, there is enhanced, recommended, custom. Now, so very simply put, there are some events which are automatically tracked by the system, right? So, for example, a click or an engagement, which is like a proxy for the earlier bounce rate, which was there in the earlier versions of analytics. These are automatically tracked. You don't have to do anything else in terms of settings, right? But enhanced is really where the power of GA4 is, especially some of the smaller publishers, because it's become so easy to track some of these events, which was complicated in the earlier versions of Google Analytics. I'll explain what I mean. So enhanced would mean these events are kind of provided, but it has to be enabled or disabled in the settings, right? So all that it means is that you need to go to the settings, the admin panel, and you need to enable all these bits, right? So you see that scrolls, capturing scrolls, every time a visitor gets to the bottom of the page, which is, if you want to track. And this is really important for a publisher, because you really want to gauge the interest of someone in various sections or in specific pages all across the site, right? So uh, you can do that with just this setting, right? You can enable site search, especially if you have large number of you have high traffic. This becomes important to understand the kind of audience that you have. It helps you to build new content, based on what people are searching, right? Video engagement. Earlier in the earlier versions, uh, tracking YouTube play, video plays was complicated. Now it's just a simple setting here. So these are things which has for digital publishers, it has become very easy to track these kind of things, like scrolls and video plays by the click of a button. So that's what um, that's what enhanced uh, events is all about, right? And other than that, there are recommended events. So recommended would be, so if you are an e-commerce site, it would recommend you a certain kind of events. And custom is you build it from scratch, right? Now, one you can say trivia here is that internal linking is not automatically tracked, right? So what that means is that you can track, uh, right now, if you want to track that, suppose there is a reference website here, right? There is, if this, suppose this particular phrase is linked to the IPL, IPL website. Now that can be tracked. This outward link can be tracked because it comes under the enhanced events. But the internal linking that needs to happen, that is happening, right? So by internal linking, basically, I mean, all of us know that if you are linking to another page on the same domain, right? That's what internal linking, right, is all about. Now that is not automatically tracked, or that's not even enhanced event. It doesn't come an enhanced event also, which means that you'll need to set up a custom event for doing this. And this tracking could be very useful for gateway pages, right? So if you have a gateway page, so for example, now on this site, the well, you could say the strategy page, right? This page is a gateway page because it is linking to all a whole range of articles on the same domain. Now, if you want to track links, clicks on each one of these, it has to be custom built. So you can have a very nice report here, which will tell you that how many clicks happened on each one of these in a certain period from this particular page, right? And so, but for doing this, you have to do a custom event. That's really what the implication of this, that its internal linking is not automatically tracked, and hence you'll need to make a custom event for this. Interestingly, in GA4, there is one more uh, kind of an event called the audience event, which is really like something which publishers need to explore. To give an example of audience events, right? So if for example, Outlook.com, this they want to they are doing a New Year's campaign, right? And they're getting a whole lot of traffic around some major promotions that are happening around the New Year's, and they want to specifically check this audience which is coming in the last week of the year, how how engaged are they, right? So they can define certain triggers for engagement. It could be a certain time spent on site, certain number of pages, or whether how many of them have purchased the subscription, or if they have a membership feature, how many of them have become members, right? So it's now become quite easy in GA4 to have these kinds of reports, right? So for example, in audiences, you will need to click on new audiences. In fact, there are quite a few templates here also, which will help you to do these build new audiences. And so the first thing is you have to build an audience. So like just like there is an audience here of people who have been recently active, right? So here it basically means that they have been come to the site for in the last 30 days. So similarly, you have to build an audience here of people who have been active in the time of the promotion, and then define triggers specifically for this audience, right? So we're not getting into that, but the point here is it is possible to define triggers specific to certain audiences, and which will help you to study a particular audience in a lot more detail and get insights from that. So that's it. Those were the various kinds of events, and it basically means you have to take a tally of what are the various events that you want to track. You can kind of start from scratch. I mean, and this is the time, if you're moving to GA4, this is the time, to start from a blank piece of paper in that sense, and define the audiences that you want to track, define the kind of audience specific events and reporting that you want to do, so that you can start getting insights from this. Thank you.